In the quiet corners of memory, where myths are born from whispers and moonlight, there exists a story. It is not a story of grand battles or of gods clashing in the heavens. No, this is a quieter tale, one tinged with the kind of sadness that settles like dust on an old, forgotten photograph. It is the story of how we, the children of the earth, became fragile, how we learned the meaning of an ending. Before this moment, time was a river without a sea, an endless current upon which humanity drifted without fear. A promise was made in the soft clay of creation, a promise of forever that was never meant to be broken. This particular story belongs to the Minyong, a people of the hills who look to the sky and see the sun and the moon as one great watchful eye. It speaks of a simple mistake, a single clumsy moment that unraveled the very fabric of our existence. But fate, or perhaps just a moment of human fallibility, had a different design. Minyong was a man of the earth. He knew the feel of wet clay sliding through his fingers. He was chosen by the gods for this very reason, for his connection to the soil from which the first people were formed. His task was to fashion an earthen vessel, a lidong, which would be sent to the heavens. This was no ordinary pot. It was a message, a symbol of humanity's readiness for the gift of immortality. If it reached the divine realm whole and unbroken, Minyong would grant his children a life without end. With great care, Minyong gathered the finest clay, sifting it until it was as smooth as powdered silk. He mixed it with pure water from a mountain stream, kneading it with a reverence usually reserved for prayer. As he worked, he dreamt of the world to come. He saw his children and their children's children living without the shadow of death. The lidong grew under his hands, its shape simple but flawless. It was more than just clay. It was the physical embodiment of hope. He finished his work as the sun began to dip below the horizon. The vessel stood before him, perfect and gleaming softly in the fading light. The wind was a living thing, a wild and unpredictable force that snatched the breath from his lungs. It tore at his clothes and whipped his hair across his face. Minyong stood his ground, his knuckles white as he clutched the precious lidong. The rain was cold, turning the ground beneath his feet into a slick, treacherous mud. He held the vessel aloft, an offering to the roaring sky, waiting for the perfect gust to lift it from his grasp and begin its sacred journey. And then, it happened. A sudden, violent gust of wind, stronger than the rest, slammed into him. It was not a gentle lift, but a brutal shove. He staggered backward, his bare feet sliding in the slick, wet earth. For one heart-stopping second, he fought for balance, his arms pinwheeling as he tried to keep the vessel safe, to protect the future held within his hands. The lidong left his grasp. It tumbled through the air, end over end, a perfect, silent arc against the tumultuous sky. It struck the hard, unforgiving ground with a sound that was both small and deafeningly final, a sharp, sickening crack that cut through the howl of the wind. The vessel of hope, the container of immortality, shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces. The promise was broken. As the storm began to subside, a soft, ethereal light pierced through the clouds. In the sudden calm, a figure appeared before the heartbroken Minyong. It was Minyong, the great eye of the sun and moon whose gaze saw all things. There was a profound and gentle sadness in his presence. The deity looked at the weeping man, then at the scattered remains of the earthen vessel. Had the lidong remained whole, man would have had the life of a stone, eternal and unchanging. But the lidong is broken. Man must have the life of the grasses. He will spring up, flourish for a time, then wither and be gone. The words carried the weight of an irreversible decree. From that one mistake, mortality was woven into our being. Our lives, like the grasses, are fleeting, a brief, beautiful moment followed by decline. The myth of the broken lidong is a quiet, haunting reminder of our fragility. Our existence is as delicate as an earthen pot. We lost eternity, but perhaps learned the value of the short, beautiful time we are given.